guys, so I am turning my attention to my driveway bed. So I'll give you a little update about my house and where I am with my gardening. So I bought my house in 2019 and this was just yard, just grass. So it was a pain in the butt because it always sloped down and trying to get a mower or anything in there was just a pain. And of course, just this little strip of grass, like there's not a whole lot of interest there. My house is a very large two-family home, so it's kind of a 3-story tall type of building. And so as you guys can probably see, that's just a very large blank space. So what I decided to do was create some visual interest and have a driveway bed. And so you can see right back behind me is my rose trellis for my climbing roses that I've had a couple of years now. And the first year they didn't do so hot. They didn't protect their base and the falling snow broke the stems. And then last year I did protect them, the base, but for some reason the climb part that went up the house didn't survive, so they just kind of died off. I don't know if the rose just needs some maturing or what have you, but so it's still growing, it's still alive, but it's growing up from the base of the plant. So I've got to retrain everything. It's a very fast grower. It will fill in this trellis through the rest of the year, but does that mean I need to cut it down every year? I kind of want it to be green on the house at this time, and unfortunately it's not. So anyway. So on the bottom layer here, I'm trying to distinguish my levels because newer at gardening, you always buy these little things from the garden center that only end up about a foot tall, and perennials, those never done any of that. So this is my first house attempting at gardening. It's actually my second house, but my first house I bought, I never really did any gardening there. So I'll show you guys a little bit more of what's in here, but what my plan is today, now that it's shaded on this side of the house, because it's like 90 degrees here today, crazy for Maine, central Maine, it should not be 90 degrees, is now that my driveway is paved, I'm going to create a border. I bought the blocks for it, so now I just need to work on creating the border. I have the blocks, I sprayed the weeds at the base to help kill them down, and I think I'm going to put landscape fabric under the block and kind of into the bed a little tiny bit to help with the weeds from popping back through, because obviously that's going to be a pain in the butt later on. So I will show you guys some more of the bed, and then you'll also see me doing some of the brickwork. So there is my trellis. As you can see, all of that up there died. I do have some growth about midway, but it's very weak looking. I don't know if that's really going to make it, but there's plenty of stems here at the base that I'm just waiting for the heat to help take off and climb. I do have a few salvia plants. They are pretty much getting ready to get cut back and rebolster them for a second bloom. Down here, I have dianthus that I have grown from seed that I collected last year. It's kind of interesting, the coloration, because it's not the colors of what I bought, but it is what it is. Then I have a poppy seed. And then we have some viola. I've got some snapdragon in here. I think this is calendula. I know I planted some of those seeds somewhere. Some more snapdragons. Oh, my coreopteris is starting to bloom, guys. That's awesome. Look at that. So as you can see, lots of new growth here at the bottom. And then it just peters out. So that's all right. Okay, moving on. We have another, I think this is a Hungarian poppy. I'm hoping it's going to be kind of a purpley blue color. Some more dianthus from seed. Look how light color that one is compared to the ones on the other side. Nice. I've still got plenty of tulips and daffodil foliage I need to cut out of here. Just starting to die off now. Look at that beautiful snapdragon, guys. Isn't that an amazing color? It's kind of a fuchsia tone. It's really pretty. So I just filled in this bed with a lot of snapdragons this year from seed. Most of them are annual. I'm hoping a couple are perennial. So we'll see. Back here, these are going to be, I believe, straw flower. This back here is a dahlia. Dahlias. My little gladiolas that I will put into the ground this year now that I know they will overwinter. Down here is feverfew. Got a few of those there. Some more small poppies. Then I have some Shasta daisies that I have put into the ground. So they're going to take off here once the heat comes in. More snapdragons. For the life of me, I think this is also a straw flower. Pretty sure I put two of them in there because they get tall. This climbing rose has always been the weaker of the two. There is some new growth, but he had even less growth this from previous year. That's it. Everything else died. So we'll see if I can get them to fill in. I don't want to take these roses out. I'm hoping just as they get older, they become hardier. Then I have my sedum. And let's not forget beautiful zinnia that is starting to come into bloom. As we come down here, as I mentioned, I've got Shasta daisy. This one, I'm going to butcher the name. It's like Gabazana, Gabanai, I think is the correct word. I'll see if I can find it and put it up on the screen for you guys. More, snapdragons, more poppies. We have some iris from my neighbor. I'm excited if you guys can see this. So we'll see how he does. I'm excited. I'm hoping that's what the flower pot is supposed to do because it's kind of sad looking, but the other one is also turned down. So I'm thinking that's just what happens with that particular breed. Plenty of snapdragon. That is a garden phlox with some white snapdragon. See how small that one is? And then next to it, you have this giant one here, which this one I believe is the one I got from Birch Salt. I think it's supposed to be perennial. I'll be excited if it is. Lots more poppies. My poppies all migrated to the edge of the bed, basically. So this is a California poppy with the orange. And then again, these foliages here, I believe, are a purple-blue Hungarian poppy. Then I've got some light yellow, white creamy poppies. I've got the petunia. I think they're Super Bells from Proven Winners. I couldn't tell you the name of them right now. Then this is a purple coneflower, getting ready to make its debut. Some iris past bloom. This big boy is my first time doing hollyhock. So something's been eating the leaves, but he does have some blooms getting ready, so that's awesome. Behind the sedum are white sunflowers. So I put some sunflowers back behind there. And then at the base, which you can't really see, are some more gladiolas and more straw flower. Come over here, you're going to see some zinnias. Trying to get some height in the back. That's the part I'm still working on learning how to do, is find the right height for everything. These little fuzzy ones are ornamental poppies that just never bloomed. I don't know if they don't like where they're at or what, but they did not do anything. Some more straw flower, and then my lavender, which is coming into bloom as well. Then this is just a clipping of that rose I took last year that I probably need to put in the ground or give away. And then I've got some pansies left over from spring planting, some more poppies in the creamy colors. Those are really pretty. I wasn't expecting those to be the color of the poppies, to be fair, but look how pretty they are. I'm not mad about that. Not at all. And then to round out this bed, we do have some dahlia. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Got a dahlia back here. And I actually have one kind of stuck in some weeds right now, but he's right there. Then some lilies that I got from my neighbor a year or two ago that are huge this year, just taking off. And then my hydrangea, which also is getting big, and last year had one seed head or bloom head that hardly did anything, and now it's full of these little guys. So I'm excited to see if they actually take off and do anything this year, because they're beautiful, but I don't want it just to be this one tiny little seed head either. So that is my driveway garden bed. I'm excited. Okay, so it's going to take me a while to weed out the gnarliness, so I'm just going to show you guys what the end results here is. Once I weed up some of this, I'm going to put this fabric down to help keep the weeds from coming back up, and I'm going to kind of layer it up to the top, so that hopefully will help. And that's what I'm going to do all the way down the line. So be back when I've got some progress.